Okay, I think we can finish up the last option under the rhythm, under Midi Mutator, rhythm generator, regenerate with, and this top line algorithms. And I played around with this event length, and this is important and pretty easy to understand once you experiment with it a bit. So scale, it says event length. I think it's easier just to call this new note length. All right, I'll show you what I mean. So this says scale to new length. It means whatever rhythm this algorithm is going to create, scale the note lengths so that you have no rests. Okay, that's the key. With this option, you're not going to have any rests. So watch this. I'll hit Algo 1. By the way, I've got this repetition on 1 bar. So I hit Algo 1, and notice that we go from a quarter note all the way to, well, a double dotted half, really, is what this is. It's a half note and an eighth note. I think that's a double dotted half. A dotted half would be a 3/4 note. So yeah, this is a double dotted half. So you can see we've got no rests, and the pattern, because it's set the repetition to 1 bar, it just repeats every bar. So let's undo that, try it again, hit Algo 1, and now we've got again we've got some much longer notes, and the patterns repeating. So that's what this scale to new length does. It creates a pattern and kind of makes it legato, so to speak. But whatever pattern it's creating, whatever rhythmic pattern it's creating, it's changing the lengths of the notes so that there are no rests. Now, perhaps that's got something to do with the fact that we start out with our raw material is just straight up eighth notes with no rests. I'm sorry, straight quarter notes with no rests. I'd have to experiment with that, but we'll leave that aside for a moment. All right, so that's scale to new length. Now let's see what happens when we have preserve original length. So, oops, let me undo. Yeah, okay, now we're back to our straight quarter notes. Now if I have preserve original length, maybe it's going to create some rests, but that would mean that all the notes are going to be a quarter note long, right? So let's try that. Okay, so this is interesting. I wouldn't have expected this. It is in fact preserving the original length, which is quarter note, but what it's doing is it's shifting the note positions. In this case, it seems like it's shifting. Well, it's shifting. It seems like it's shifting all of them to the left. Yeah. So we have, that's what's going on here, and that's not going to be particularly musical. But let's listen to it. Now, because that doesn't sound bad, because I set up this original phrase to be, let's go back to it. These are all the notes are chord notes, right? So when you play them together or simultaneously, kind of like in harmony, they're going to sound consonant. So yeah, in any event, preserve original length. I don't think you're going to want to use that too often. So that's how that works. Now we can preserve or shorten, and then we have no overlap. Okay, when we preserve the length. So with that, we're not going to have any notes more than a quarter because that's our original length. But we're not going to have any overlaps either. Okay, the overlaps were created when we have preserve original length. So there's no overlaps with this option. Okay, go back to the original phrase, and then our last option is from rhythm. All right, well, that would mean, I guess it's kind of like the algorithm is going to do what it wants to do, and regardless of what the original note length of our phrase was. So let's select that, and I would say with this option you're not going to have any overlaps. The only overlapping patterns you'll get is when you select preserve original length. That's what I think this shows. Okay? All right, very good. I think we've covered this first line, and we can move on to the next, these patterns here. Okay? See you in the next video.